My activity is focused on the grouping and classification of UK wildflowers based on their appearance. This activity was born from the desire to let pupils explore and develop an interest for local wildlife. In this project, pupils are given free rein to investigate the wildlife in their garden or local park to learn how we can classify plants based on their appearance and how scientists use these features to discover how closely related plants might be. Hopefully, pupils begin to appreciate the biodiversity that exists in their local area. By the end of the project, it's hoped that pupils will be able to identify features of different flowers and their roles in insect pollination and survival, classify different flowers species based on visual appearances and differences, use the binomial naming system and understand how this naming system is used to evaluate how closely related two flowers might be. This links to many areas of the Key Stage 3 and 4 biology curriculum, such as classification and variation of organisms, the importance of maintaining biodiversity, and ideas about plant reproduction and adaptations. For this project, you will need one tray, a selection of flowers picked from a local garden or field, and a help sheet. A flower classification help sheet is available which has scientific names and images of most, but not all, UK wildflowers to help pupils identify each species of flower and begin to start using the scientific names. Teachers can collect the flowers, but it is advised that pupils pick their own, as it is a great opportunity for them to get out amongst the wildlife. However, the flowers do not last long, so it should be sure to get it all done in one day. Groups of 3 pupils per tray is desirable. Pupils are given a tray full of multiple different flowers and a help sheet. Pupils discuss and decide as a group which flowers are similar, different, or identical, and then group them together. The grouping is entirely up to them, and there is no right answer. Pupils must be able to explain why they have separated them into groups. For example, are they grouped because they are the same species, or similar colours, or they have the same petal or pistil pattern, or a similar smell, and so on. The image on the screen shows an example of how pupils might decide to separate their flowers into groups. Afterwards, pupils can share with the rest of the class. The whole point of the activity is to encourage pupils to consider the features of each flower and relate to the roles in the ecosystem. It also encourages them to think about how visual appearances are used to group flowers into similar groups, like what scientists do when considering how closely related species might be. Finally, this activity allows pupils to get comfortable using the binomial naming system and scientific names, and hopefully begin to appreciate how it is used to show how closely related two species are. This activity can be adapted for use with insects, but this would require a lot more resourcing and supervision. You could also introduce ideas about genetics to explain the difference between flowers of similar or different species.